My parents actually are immigrants from Pakistan, and they got married in 1988 and then moved to Southern California. And yeah, entirety of my primary and secondary education has been with the Latinx and Vietnamese community for the most part. I think those are the two highest, or like the most concentrated of the communities that I like grew up with. And I remember like really struggling with that, like with being the only Pakistani girl and like no one like getting me, and like also like wanting to be Latina because I just thought like that was like the norm and that was a cool thing to be, right? And I like was, but like now looking back at it, I think, no, not I think, I know that like that was the best thing that could have happened to us. And like I am so grateful that my parents decided to raise us in the city. And like since then, I think I started just carrying that idea of like carrying my culture and carrying my history and my like family's history with me, and also just like wanting to cater to the needs of of like the community that I come from.
Mm-hmm.
I remember also growing up, my mom is like limited English proficient, and so she can speak English fairly well now, but like I know a lot of folks who didn't, it wasn't the case for them. And so like having someone speak in your language in, and like you know just that connection of seeing someone who understands your lived reality,
Mm-hmm.
really was what kind of brought me into this work. In terms of what Syeda does, and sort of the population, the South Asian population, like I mentioned, I think over the years I've seen it transform so much. So like growing up, I didn't see as many South Asians as I see now. And actually, just 2 blocks down, they opened up a Gurdwara or a Sikh temple.
Mm.
So there's a lot more South Asians, like Punjabi Sikhs, who are able to, like, who are either living in the neighborhood or they're coming and visiting the neighborhood more often. Our first response was just checking in and making sure that people knew they weren't alone, and letting like having materials in language created so that people know that we're still here for them. And then kind of taking it to the next step is we started providing families with groceries. We started providing family with cash assistance. We had like some very generous donors that allow us to provide direct cash assistance and rent and funding for utilities and things like that. Again, I think that like the not the pandemic, but I think what's been happening with the Black Lives Matter movement recently has been reflective of the power of people coming together, and of people learning from each other and taking an opportunity to take a backseat and really soak it in. There's like this verse in the Quran that like says that like God says that like we created you from different tribes so that you don't, not so that you fight with each other, but so that you learn from one another. And I think that like this has been like so reflective of that, because like people are taking the opportunity to learn from each other and to build together. And I keep relearning this lesson is that like we're all in this together, like like you know like we really are like each other's, like we need to be there for each other, and that like it doesn't matter, like you know diversity is so beautiful and important, and like there's so much value in it, and there's so much to be learned from people who don't necessarily speak your language, who don't look like you.